Hello, welcome to this. What do we think of the intro? Was that good?
That was brilliant. I loved that.
That was so good. The first time. It's my YouTube one, made by Kev. As anything, I should probably just not say at this point, and people know that my husband has made anything that looks remotely impressive and is technical. I thought we'd try it on the sprints. I was just saying to Jen and Sharon before we came on that I tried it on Alex Fowkes the other night and we blasted it with the sound of it. So I hope that came out of your TV sounding a good volume.
Her ears are still bleeding. It's a terrible thing.
Send help.
Oh, well, thank you, people in the comments, for joining us. Thank you, the two of you. It's lovely to have you on screen together. So I'm joined by my friends Jen and Sharon, who are fellow buddy readers. So how long have you two been buddy reading with each other?
Only recently, really. I think within maybe the last couple of months.
This year, isn't it? Yeah.
Definitely this year. But I found you, Sharon, through TikTok, because I've been obsessed with TikTok now. And then I was like, let's be friends. And it's been a whirlwind romance ever since.
Isn't that the best thing about the book community, that you literally can, it sounds a bit weird, but I'm going to say it anyway, you can target somebody that you like, they're cool and I completely like everything about you. In real life, I don't think you can choose friends with quite such precision.
So true. It's you can really hone in. Yeah, definitely.
It's true. Whereas at school in the classroom, you sidle up somebody who looks like they're not terrifying, and this is the same thing, is it?
Definitely.
And look at her, she's beautiful. Who wouldn't want to be friends with her? Oh my god!
Stop!
The pair of you do look like friends made in heaven, because you both look like you kind of make an effort with your appearance and look really cool. Whereas I'm sitting here wearing the Scare Bears t-shirt. I'll just show you that my friend Shelly bought me.
That is so cute. I love it.
It's cute and scary, which is the two. I love things that are cute and scary at the same time.
Oh yeah,
that niche.
I'm cute and scary.
Creepy cute. Love it.
This is it. So, but that's the most effort I made. I took my hair out of the messy bun it was in. That's in my book.
Well, I'm dressed in. I'm wearing like a jumpsuit. I'm in my children's presenter era. So I'm in I like jumpsuits and boiler suits and things like that, which are fine until you need to go to the bathroom, aren't they?
Yes.
And, and then it's a problem.
I've got one jumpsuit that I can't unzip myself or re-zip, and I didn't realise until I was going to the loo, and I went out. I was in the toilet with my 3-year-old going, "Can you undo a zip?" Yeah, I think they look really good, but not always the most practical.
Yeah.
I prefer the elasticy ones that you can just kind of stretch.
And these ones are just pull off the top, and it's not so bad when you're in a house, but if you're out, you're always terrified that the door lock won't hold because technically you're naked, really. So you're just always a bit worried, aren't you? You've got a foot on the door. Do you know what I mean?
Fully exposed to the world.
In case.
I like dungarees.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, to be fair.
Well, the more we hear about you, Sharon, the more interesting it gets. I mean, you've talked about.
I'm very old, Amy. You have to understand.
And stuff.
I'm very old.
Oh dear.
Brilliant. No, I love it. Like I said, I think I need to do an autobiographical interview with you at some point and get all the secrets and stories. I want to know it all.
Oh wow.
Start at age 18 and go from there.
I think there's probably a few NDAs in place that's not allowing me to do that.
Oh dear.
I love that. Okay, so let's jump to the comments, see how people are, and then you can let us know, you two, what you are planning to do tonight, and I'll let you know what I can say about what I'm planning to do.
Oh.
Hi, Stephen. I'm glad. It was a bit of a test run. I'm glad it worked. It's my usual YouTube one, but repurposed. Hi, Caroline.
Hi.
I did wonder whether I should have warned people, but I'm glad it was a good surprise.
It was a nice surprise, definitely.
Thank you, Ellie. Excellent. I'm interested to see what you think of those, Raymond. I really liked them up to a point, and then I just DNF'd halfway through on the books for no particular reason, and I haven't picked up again. I don't really know why. Have you two read them?
I've read up to, I think the last one I picked up was Queen of Shadows, which is the 4th in the main series, not including like the novellas. And I loved them up until a point, but I think I was getting them from Asda, and then Asda stopped doing them. And I only wanted the specific covers, and then they've had so many like new designs come out. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
But I have a backlist. I've got to get through them. I do intend to finish them, that's for sure.
I think because I'm not a big fantasy reader. Yeah, it probably hit me at the point where I was kind of falling out of love with fantasy bit. I am getting back into it now because I'm finding that some fantasy does pull me in. But yeah,
you've got to find your niche, haven't you?
Yeah, that maybe hit me at a point where I was kind of losing it with fantasy. So I think it was. Is there one called Empire of something? Empire of
Storms. I think that's the one after Queen of Shadows, actually.
Okay, see, so I got quite far. I think I was halfway through that one, and I just kind of stopped reading it.
Wow, fair enough.
I can't do series. I can't do series because I'm quite old and I'm worried that I'll die before they end. So I can't start something. And then, you know, it's like I really struggle picking up a first book in a trilogy because I might not be around when the last book comes out. That's really frustrating, isn't it?
That's a really good point, though. Like, we can never finish all the books in our lifetime. How sad is that?
Well, I'm coming back as a ghost, as a librarian ghost, and just to read all the ones I can't get to.
Yeah, I love that.
Maybe don't get hooked on the George R. R. Martin books. I don't think any of us have been alive to see that series. Certain series,
I've come to the conclusion he's never going to finish them, is he? So it's fine, isn't it? He sent Daenerys mad, and he killed her off, and I hate him for that. So
I've made peace with it all.
You know.
I was kind of hoping that the TV show would get a chance to like redeem itself and show some extra depths, but. Maybe I'm just holding my breath for the wrong reason.
You're optimistic, Amy.
Thank you. I don't feel cool. There's something that I think I've got. Thank you. I think I've got slightly cooler as I've got older. I was really not cool when I was younger. I've got slightly cooler. Excellent. You've got to go with that mood. I just kind of I write so much by routine now that I don't know whether the mood ever strikes. Like I know that at 7:30 I start writing and I enjoy it, but it's just like I'm like
it's so routine for you. Yeah,
computer comes on and that's it. And write and repeat. The Silver Chair, as in the C.S. Lewis, Narnia.
That's what I thought. Huh?
Did that come to your mind as
well?
That's
the author. That came to my mind, definitely.
Let us know, Ellie.
I haven't read that since I was a kid. Yeah, lovely.
That is really cool. I didn't expect to see somebody reading that. Yeah, I mean, same. I'm still jealous.
It's so true.
Alex has got some really cool spooky items that come out for school events, and I see them on her social media, and like I try and copy her, and they've normally gone by the time Albany's or something like that. Alex is definitely cool too.
Such a good book.
I read Horror Store a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's really
amazing.
Fun. Anybody
enjoy?
Grady Hendrix. It looks like an IKEA catalogue, but it's about a haunted IKEA-esque store, and it's genius. It's really short, really fun.
Such a cool concept.
Yeah,
really cool.
Hi, Stephen.
And it's got like almost catalogues dotted throughout, as if you're like flipping through the IKEA.
And they get more and more deadly as the time goes on. It's really clever.
Yes.
It's a cool story too. To be fair, I love Grady. He's quite quirky, and that's what I like about him. As a horror writer, he's not really terrifying, but he's a bit he's creepy. Yeah.
Creepy. I like that word. It's creepy.
He's very like sweet and gentle and funny, isn't he? And quirky. And then you read his books and it's like sinister.
It's like, oh dear.
Hello.
Oh, I love your crown.
Yeah,
crown.
It's a bit scary, isn't it? Stuff like supernatural. It's like, do I go back? Because I kind of lost, like you, Jen, with the books. Like I lost track when it changed channel. I lost track of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, do I start again, or will I never actually finish it if I do that? Do I just plunge back in?
I end up so consumed with the thinking of what I should do that it goes past, you know.
Yeah, that's me with reading quite often. I spend the amount of time like going through my shelves and flicking through my Kindle when I could actually just read a book. I cannot believe that, Ellie. That's really cool.
Amazing.
I loved that book when I was a kid.
Because I've read like some adult kind of deconstruct. I've read some adult stuff about them, like, you know, like critical type things of like, oh, this character represents that, and maybe some of the there's quite a lot of discourse out there. So and I definitely didn't pick up on it as a kid, so I'd be interested to know what it's like to read it as an adult, Ellie. Let us know if you are enjoying them.
I've never read them before.
Oh, sorry, what were you saying, Jem?
I was just saying, I never read them before. I've been wanting to for the longest time, but I never read them like as a child or anything like that. So
yeah, I don't think I read all of them. I think I may have read Lion, the Witch in the Wardrobe several times because I've got one of the TV adaptations on video, and then I think I'd read like bits of others. But yeah, maybe I should read them at some point and like analyze as an adult. That might be quite fun.
Oh yes.
So
Didn't have as much choice for books when I was a kid, so I read everything that I could get my hands on.
What terrifying thing are you reading, Sharon? We want to know.
I am reading the YA one tonight because yes, it's fantastic, isn't it, Amy? I only started it yesterday. I'm halfway through, but I love it. And actually, it reads a lot like a TV show. You could actually see this being made into a TV show. As I said yesterday, I did have to stop yesterday afternoon and watch Lost Boys because I got a craving. And but it's really good. So I'm going to carry on with that tonight and see how I get on. And I might switch to another horror because I finished this is my last one on my set TBR for the month. This month.
Wow.
So I'm going to go rogue then. So it'll probably be extreme horror. But yeah, looking forward to it.
Excellent. You're the opposite of me, Sharon. I set maybe like 8 to 10 books a month, but no, I can only read 8, or sometimes I set like 13 or 14 and go completely wild. Never read them all, so they end up carrying over. Like there's books that have been on there for 6 months, just like they're gathering dust. It's really bad.
I think I had 12. Yeah. I had 12 on my set TBR, and I've actually read 15, 16 with that one.
Wow.
But that's all I do. You've got to understand, you've got a young child, it's a completely different life for me. I'm retired, my kids are grown up. I work and I read, and this week I've been off because I've not been well. And so that's all I do is read. So, and I can read a book a day when I'm on leave. So it's very different. You have different lives. You're out working, and I work from home. It's very different.
Yeah, I used to read a book a day on holiday. Like I'd take 7 books away for a week-long holiday, knowing I would read them all in the pre-Kindle days. But now I read 1 book on holiday this year, and I thought that was pretty
cool. Got a 3-year-old to take care of, darling. That's a full-time job in itself before anything else.
Yeah, more than a full-time job, definitely.
Yeah.
How about you, Jen? What are you reading tonight?
I am reading In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. Which oh my gosh, I've been wanting to read this since I saw it announced, and it's basically like a reimagining of Pinocchio and the Swiss Robinson family. There's a lot of LGBT plus representation in it as well. It's kind of like a sci-fi, contemporary sci-fi sort of thing, but I'm really loving it. It's about halfway through. I'm on part 2. It's really good so far.
I haven't read any TJ Klune books, but their books come up on like every single sprint, and I go, I'm going to read one day.
Honestly, The House on the Cerulean Sea, definitely go for that.
Yeah, that's what people have said. Yeah, I think browsing, Kev does this quite often on Netflix. Like he'll spend a good half an hour looking through the new Netflix stuff, and it's like, do you do that, or do you like watch the half hour thing?
Literally, oh gosh.
And that's the problem. It's like we've got so many channels. You've got Sky, I've got Netflix, I've got Prime, I've got Disney Plus. By the time I've worked my way through, and then I'll go to my husband, there's nothing on.
There's nothing to watch.
I grew up with 3 channels. I only had 3 channels when I was a kid. Channel 4 started when I was a teenager. And now I'm like, oh, there's nothing to watch. And I end up watching all the Fools and Horses on Dave.
We're rewatching Boy Meets World. That's the position we're in. Like all the new stuff that's out there, and I'm watching Boy Meets World. Yeah, that's a bit where I am with it, Raymond. Like I feel like the stuff I've heard about it as an adult made me wonder if I don't think I'd be able to read it with that like childish magic now. No,
I haven't.
Camp Damascus, I have. Yeah, I read it as an arc. It's excellent.
Ooh. Is it too extreme for me, Sharon? Is it too much?
It's very gory. I don't think there's any kids in. There's youngsters in it, but there's not little kids in it, as far as I can remember. It's been a few months since I read it. I really enjoyed it. It was really good, really gory.
Excellent. Ooh. I'm going to add that. That's the first thing I've written down of the night. I am thinking.
I don't know if it's out yet, but it's it was definitely. I read it as an art a couple of months ago, but it's a good book. I love your title, by the way, The Goddess of Gore. I feel like we would get on.
Well,
I think I recently followed them actually. Really cool stuff. Really cool vibes.
Sorry, just interrupting the screen to write down book titles. Here you go, Caroline. Question from Caroline Forshburn.
Yeah, my Goodreads was 100 and I set it 120, but I broke that about a month ago, so I move it up. Do you know? So I think it's 160 now, and I'm on 150. But yeah, it's just, you know, people have lots of debates about this, don't they? But it doesn't really matter if you read 1 or 300, you know, as long as you enjoy it, doesn't really matter. I don't make a big deal about it. It's a challenge to myself, but I don't get aggravated if I don't get it or I'll get to it. But yeah, you know, it's a challenge with yourself, isn't it? I want to read more than last year.
Mine, I'm just spectacularly failing. I set myself, I did quite well last year, so I was like, oh, I'll be ambitious this year. And my reading I've read really good books, but just not very many of them. So I'm having one of those years. But
and that's in itself is good.
Well, yeah,
because
exactly.
You've read quality, haven't
my
you?
friend was going to set it up. Yeah.
What's that? Sorry, I missed what was the last thing you said, Sharon?
To set it up, and she said, what should I do, Sharon? I'm worried about it. And I just said, oh, set it up for 12 a year. You can read 1 a month. It's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Oh, is it just me now? I think the StreamYard's playing up.
Oh, yeah, you did freeze a little bit, but I could still hear you. We just lost the movement for a little bit. Oh, yeah, Kev said your computer might be doing a handy update.
I thought it was you who'd frozen, and I thought I'm on my own. Oh, no.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, it's very much great, Hendrix. I agree.
Okay, sold. I need to get that. Hopefully, Sharon, if your computer is doing an update, we're going to go to a sprint in a minute, so it might be able to catch up over the 40 minutes. We're nearly through the comments.
It's a brand new computer. It should be doing an update.
Well, I'm just wondering, because it's new, whether it's doing something. I don't know. Yeah, I remember Channel 5 starting, I think. I think Channel 4 was already going. Yeah, I did the same, Ellie. I think I tried to slightly exceed my last year's one, and it was a good reading year. And this year, I've just, hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have written like 3 books and edited another one. So that's
so impressive, though. That will be your baby, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
So I've just got to keep thinking that, like, for every book I'm not reading, I'm probably writing one.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I am working on something that I'm hopefully going to send to my agent.
That's a goal in itself,
week.
isn't it? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but
we haven't written a book.
I've not written a book. I don't think I ever could.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like every reader, if they want to, has a potential writer in them, because you've just consumed so much of it that you can, like. I think that's how I've learned.
Yeah.
I've just learned about pacing and characters and stuff like that from reading other people's books and kind of thinking about what works for me and what doesn't.
That makes sense.
So yeah, I'm editing this thing for my agent, which isn't on contract or anything. It's just something that I'm writing, and I'm having fun with. And I'm like cautiously optimistic about. So I really hope it does become something, because I'm pushing myself quite a lot as a writer and having fun with it.
Yeah.
So I think it might be a good time for us to go to a little sprint.
Perfect.
And hopefully the email will sort itself out in that time. So if anybody who's not been here before, we do 40 minutes, chat 40 minutes, chat 30 minutes. And if either of you two get tired and want to go, that's fine. I can wrap it up myself or wrap it up with one of you. I'm quite happy whatever way. I'll be here till the bitter end, which is usually about 10 o'clock.
The bitter end.
I'm on holiday. I don't have to go to bed.
Well, that's true, actually. Yeah. So I will just be woken up at 6 a.m. regardless of what happens. So I might as well carry on.
Yeah, the show must go on.
Me too, but by a cat rather than a child.
Honestly, I do think that pet owners know what it's like having a young child with a lot of the same behaviours. Right, let's go to the sprints then. Let us know in the comments what you're reading, getting up to, and we will see you in 40 minutes. Hello. Hope Kitty didn't get you too much. I was ready for it today. Sitting there with my hand over the button, so it didn't get me. I think you're still muted, Lauren.
Oh.
So
I managed to turn my volume down just as I was watching the last 2 seconds. I was like, down, down, down.
Oh, it says I can't unmute you because your mic isn't connected, Sharon. So I think your mic might have come unplugged or disconnected or something. So let's. Sorry, Jen, I think I've talked over you then. Oh, good. Yeah, you're fine. I was just trying to I couldn't concentrate on I concentrate on swallowing, Sharon. Okay.
Oh, bless you.
I can concentrate again. How did we get on? Jen, did you have a good spring?
I did, thank you. I read a chapter of my book and I feel like I'm very expressionate when I read. I could feel my mouth going, and then I was like, oh no, I'm on camera. I have to calm my face a bit.
Don't calm the face. I love it when people have like genuine emotion when they're reading scary stuff. It's the best.
Oh dear.
So was it like good? Was it surprising?
It was a mixture. Some was like really funny, some was shocking, and some was just like, that's all nice. In one chapter.
Gosh, so you went through.
It was
like,
a roller coaster. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely need to get that. I did. At the beginning, I sat and wrote a list of all the books we talked about, and at the end, I'm going to treat myself with a Blackwell's Order, I think.
That sounds like a nice treat.
Yeah, I also figured out how much I need to edit, so maybe when I get to my target point, I can do a little book order.
Reward yourself.
Yeah, that's the only way I can get through things. Like I said, I ate some really nice chocolate too. That helps.
You got to treat yourself.
Yeah, you've got to. Did you have a good session, Sharon? Did you read some more in Nightfall?
Yeah, I did. I'm really enjoying it, actually. I think I've sorted my computer out. It's because the fan was on behind. So it sent it a bit weird. My husband came home about 5 minutes in, so I had to make sure he was okay and check how his day was. But yeah, it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. Really, really enjoying it. Yeah.
It's quite different, isn't it? I think that, if you're a Lost Boys fan, you'll definitely like it because it stays very close to the plot of it in kind of a modern way, but it's like gender flipped without giving too much away. So
it does feel like it, but without like, there's no young child in it, is there? There's no little child in it, like in Lost Boys, and it is very, very similar. But I'm really, really enjoying it, and it's really difficult to stop because I was going to get to like the end of this week and then stop, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just read through.
That's such a nice feeling. That's such a nice feeling though when you're enjoying it that much. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to starting it. I got the Audible with my credit this month. I got it today, so I think I'll probably start tonight or tomorrow.
I'm interested. I haven't heard any of the audiobooks. I'd love to know what that's like because I'm a big audiobook fan. But I feel like if the voice is really good of the person I'm listening to, if it's like a great audiobook, it's great. If it's an okay one, it can kind of seem terrible. I've just started listening to episode 13. Have either of you two read that?
No. What's that about?
It's basically like it sounds like it's a documentary, but it's fake, and it's a bunch of filmmakers who had a YouTube channel and then made it big and got like a TV channel, and they are like ghost hunters, and it's a husband and wife team. One wants to debunk it, one wants to prove it.
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Really
so everything, like you meet the characters because like their website bios are read out to you, so you kind of hear what they've written about themselves, and everything is mixed media, so there's no narrative at all. And I'm really enjoying it. It's one of those where not loads has happened yet, but it's like a full cast of characters that's like different actors doing each voice, and really good.
Oh, that sounds really good. I'm gonna have to add that to my story graph, I think.
Yeah,
I've only recently done Audible. I got a free trial, so I thought I'd give it a go. I only use it when I'm working, because if I try and listen to it when I'm sitting, I'll fall asleep. And when I'm working, it's fine because I listen to podcasts and stuff. But I love those full cast ones they do.
Amazing.
But I probably won't keep the subscription because I've also had a new Kindle recently, and I got a free Kindle Unlimited. And now I don't know why I never got that before. But I'll definitely be keeping that. I've probably read 40 books I
was going to say you'll be racing through the books with that.
So I don't use the Audible enough, I think, to justify me getting it. I mean, I'm assuming they'll let me keep what I've had, but I just don't use it enough, really.
That's fair.
But
Definitely.
yeah, I love it. I listened to the first Harry Potter book the other day just because I love Stephen Fry.
Oh, his voice. Honestly,
It's
a
so
dream.
comforting.
So comforting.
He's so good at the characters as well, isn't he? Like the way he can
Mm.
change his voice is amazing.
So
I read
impressive.
some Jules Verne. I read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and Journey to the Centre of the Earth, and they were both full cast audios
Wow.
with Tim Curry as the
Brilliant.
main character. It was absolutely brilliant.
Amazing.
He's on
Yeah.
the Dracula cast as well, which I would highly recommend if anybody's ever thought of reading Dracula and been like, oh, it's classic, it's difficult. The cast is so good. Richard E. Grant is on there.
Oh,
And
I love him too.
He's in the film version. I think he does the same character. He's Dr. Seward, which is really cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's great. Like, I don't know, it just really, really brings it to life. I'd recommend that. Yeah, I don't use it enough, really, because you could do with listening to a book a month to make it worthwhile. But I do it when I do tasks. So the reason I do when I'm cleaning, that's why I don't listen to that much, because I don't do that much cleaning. And when I'm driving, but I can't do it when Nathan's in the car, because clearly the stuff I'm listening to isn't like child appropriate. Like Ghost Hunters, so we listen to like Julia Donaldson audiobooks when he's in the car. So he's still listening to books, but just not my books.
I put it on when I'm cleaning. I alternate between that and music because I like to have a good playlist when I'm cleaning. But it's perfect for work because I can have it on in the background while I'm working. So but I just don't think I think I'm justified. I don't know. I mean, it's only like $7.99. It's not a fortune, is it? But you add all these little ones on, $7.99, $7.99.
It's true. It adds up. It adds up. I play a lot on my Nintendo Switch, and I find that I listen to audiobooks quite a lot when I'm doing that. I'm obsessed with Dreamlight Disney Valley at the minute, which is so much fun. It's like Animal Crossing, and it's just relaxing. And I've got my audiobook, and I'm like la 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 la.
I haven't bought it yet because I know I'm really bad with stuff like that I'll get really obsessed. So I think that when things calm down in like November, I might get it for my birthday.
Addicting.
My birthday's in November.
Treat yourself.
I've never ever gamed. I remember doing Pac-Man on the big ones when I was a kid. And Carl's got Xbox and we've got Wii and all sorts. And but it's just I like the brain teaser ones, where you got to solve puzzles. But it's not something I do really. I don't think I've got the patience for it, honestly.
I do like
I've got a few spooky puzzle ones I think you might like. I'll send you a message
I like
later
a puzzle.
If you guys are interested in.
When you go through places.
Hotel Dusk was one that I absolutely loved. Did you play that?
Oh, I haven't. No. I watched a few gameplays, but I haven't played it myself personally.
I think it was on DS. I'm assuming they've done Switch for it. Yeah, Kev's saying it's probably like 10 years ago now, but that was really good. It was very little actual like gameplay, as in doing
like actual,
But there's lots of conversations and figuring out puzzles, and it's really beautiful. Like the design and everything is just gorgeous.
The graphics are beautiful on them now, aren't they? I mean, they really are. They do look like films. It's just. I think perhaps I've aged out of that, maybe a little bit.
No, I don't say such thing. I reckon we should get you on like The Last of Us or something, like really scary, amazing story. I mean,
that would be a bit of Sharon.
Can I kill people? Is this when I'm shooting people and stuff?
Yeah, you can bash zombies and stuff, but the only problem is it's like a limited weapon one. What's it called? Dead Rising. God, I'm glad Kev's here. The Dead Rising games are really good because they are literally like you just get almost an endless stream of weapons. So if you really feel like
it's great fun, get your rage out.
Yeah, it's really good for that. I got this like a Christmas themed one.
That's a good idea.
And honestly, I played it one Christmas and it was so therapeutic. Like that bit of Christmas tension that you feel. And
definitely.
On that note, I'm going to go to some comments. I think I did the same.
Yes, I remember.
Was it the Pepsi Max? They did a Pepsi Max advert. Was it that? I remember recording that because I was so obsessed with the Spice Girls. Any TV spot. Yeah, Kev was saying, was it like mid-90s? Yeah, Kev reckons it's mid-90s. because we do a lot of 90s research for the Mina books. So we know when, like, if anything happened in 1995, we tend to know. You're not too late. We're doing 2 more sprints.
Hello,
So we're just about to do another one. So that'll be 40 minutes. Then we'll do a 30-minute one after that.
Hi, Amelia!
Jump in whenever you want, Amelia. It is very relaxed here. I know, sorry, Alex. You are a spooky person, Alex. I feel like we shouldn't be able to scare you so easily. But the cat.
I think it's one of my cats. Every time it goes off, I'm like, which one is it? In the room.
No. I mean, I thought I was going to congratulate you on the productive sprint, but I feel like scrolling Instagram can be its own.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've just realised that's my friend Ellie Sarah. Oh, we went to see Iron Maiden a couple of weeks ago. We met each other for the first time. Oh. It was amazing. I was like, I recognise the profile. Hold on, Ellie Sarah. Hold on, my Ellie.
Oh, I love that when people jump on to see their friends. Thank you, Ellie, for joining us. I hope you might become part of the gang. Like, feels like we've definitely got a little group of people.
Oh,
Amelia's mine. We're always talking on the WhatsApp, and we message each other all the time. There's me, Amelia, and Undead has just emigrated to Perth, and so she arrived yesterday. So there's all 3 of us. So we do little reads, but mainly we just chat and put the world to rights.
Yeah.
You need friends like that. I do that with Shelley Toy, who does Tales of Point Horror Book Club, and Mia Kushner that I did the anthology with, Taste of Darkness one. Like, I have kind of a constant conversation going with the 2 of them. Like, separately, they haven't, I don't think they've actually met each other. They've chatted online.
I've never met them. Amelia's in Yorkshire. She's up near you.
Yorkshire.
We need a trip to Yorkshire, Jen. Because everybody I want to meet is in Yorkshire.
We've said about a Whitby trip, haven't we? At some point, we need to get everybody spooky up to Whitby. It's really good.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I definitely recommend the audio. It is very cinematic the way it's done. I was wondering if I was missing anything from not seeing it in the book, so I'm glad that you said that. Because somebody I know listened to Horror Store, and she said she felt she missed out because she didn't see the visuals. So I think sometimes the physical book, it can help with stuff like that. Yes,
I agree. That it's just. I mean, I love the books anyway. I do. And but just listening to him, it's honestly so comforting. Sorry about the cat style. Merlin, get down, dear.
I don't know, however you feel about certain people who wrote certain books. I always think of the James Masters quote. He said that not everybody involved in the thing that you love was like that. Like, if you no longer agree, like with Buffy, he gets asked all the time, should people start watching Buffy because certain people involved with it aren't great? And he's like, well, no, I'm still okay, I think. And every creator involved in a thing that you love isn't necessarily problematic. You can still. And I
think it's because we're all online, I think, and so there's a lot of writers. I mean, TJ Klune is also problematic, isn't he? And so, but it's kind of like you do kind of worry about what you're saying a little bit because because people can cancel you very easily. And but I'm of the opinion that if you like something, nobody should tell you what you want to read or want to watch, and you should if you enjoyed. I love Buffy. I actually watched the last 2 episodes of Angel today. Because I needed a Spike and an Angel fix. So,
if I need cheering up, the Smile Time Puppet episode of that is like, I generally cry laughing. The bit where Spike's winding Angel up and Angel just attacks, he jumps on his face, and Spike's just laughing and calling him a wee puppet man. It's hilarious.
I love your puppet. You've got the puppets, haven't you? They're just brilliant. They make me smile every time I watch your videos. They make me smile.
I've got the vampire angel. To get the human angel, even back in the day, cost a fortune. And now I think they're worth hundreds of pounds. I would never ever let go of them. But there was never a Spike puppet, but they made one anyway because Spike was so popular. Spike wasn't actually in the show, but
I mean, Spike's my favourite character. I've got to be honest. Spike and Willow are my 2 favourite characters in Buffy. I like all the others too, but I absolutely love Spike. He had the best lines. Absolutely, hands down.
I love the whole thing that he was meant to be a 5-episode villain. They got people on and killed them off, and
he was so good.
6 seasons later and a season of Angel, and they couldn't get rid of it.
Wow!
And I love that.
That's impressive.
they kind of listened to audience feedback and like looked at the way the cast interacted with him. I think a lot of it is the writing, a lot of it is James Masters himself. Like, I think they toyed with lots of. You can tell I'm a big James Masters fan. I've read about all of them.
I love him. Yeah.
They talked about him having black hair. They talked about him having a Russian accent, like all kinds of things. But I think that what they landed on just created this like Billy Idol magic. That
basically, and who doesn't love Billy Idol? I mean, and also I think what made it really good, not to go into a Buffy discussion because we're not a Buffy fan club, but was the fact that it made they could then go back into the history of Angel's life, and you could see them interacting, and I thought that made their storylines really good.
You need to read Bloody Fool for Love if you haven't already, the Spike prequel by William Ritter. It is so good. He is great at writing Spike's dialogue, for one thing. Like, he really understands the characters. And there are some amazing Buffy Easter eggs in there that I won't say anything about them. But
I'll make a note.
I interviewed him, and he said, there's one particular thing where he got to like invent his own bit of the Buffyverse, and it's very tiny. Like, literally, you'd have to be a big Buffy fan, I think, to notice it, which I think is how he got away with it, because I think Disney are quite prescriptive about what you can put. Now, like with Kendara Blake, I think they told her the whole arc of where it needed to go, and then she could invent within that. But he did a really good job. It's basically like a one-off episode of Buffy, like a kind of a prequel bit. It's just one incident in their lives, like a few days or something, and it's really fun.
It's really easy to watch. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, right. Let's see what people in the comments are saying. Honestly, if you like the book, try the audio. It's my favorite classic, hands down. I've read it so many times. I read it like every couple of years and think, I need to leave a little while in between, and then I get the itch and have to read it again. Love it. And The Last of Us is top-notch storytelling. I have not watched the TV show.
Pedro.
So I can't comment on
Elia's
Pedro.
Obsessed with Pedro Pascal. Every message we get, he crops up somehow. Pedro Pascal. Oh my gosh. He was like our theme word.
I need to watch it, but I'm not going to say anything. I haven't watched it for a reason. Have you played the second game, Jen?
I haven't. Oh no.
Yeah. I can't. I'm not going to speak about it.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's carry on.
Oh my god.
Maybe, literally any author I talk to who writes creepy stuff, any YouTuber, TikToker who is remotely interested in like spooky atmospheric things, it all comes down to Whitby. I feel like at some point we need to just have a massive meetup, loads of authors, loads of people who read and review. Yes, please do. Next time I do Doncaster Waterstones.
That's where Amelia first met you, I think. And I struggled. I don't drive. I used to have bikes in my youth. So I'm dependent on the husband, really.
Oh.
I mean, you could make a whole journey of it, like train. We could show you the whole like Doncaster sites. It's basically Waterstones and Yorkshire Wildlife Park.
That sounds right up my street, to be honest.
Yeah.
I agree.
The wildlife park is absolutely superb. If I can ever tempt you to Doncaster it's brilliant. It's really nice to see like tigers.
As long as I have wheelchair access, I am disabled, so you have to bear that in mind.
It is quite a trek around it, but if you're comfortable in your chair for like a couple of hours, like with people walking alongside, I think it'd be fine. Yes,
it was.
Recently, and I was like, hang on, no, what? And also the fact that he's in Game of Thrones too. Like, I know he is, but I can't see that character as Joel. Like, I can't.
Yeah. It took me a while as well because I knew him through Game of Thrones, and he looks vastly different. From Joel. You know, it was a bit of a. I had to get used to it. That's for sure.
He had a great death as well in the Game of Thrones. Fantastic death.
Yes.
I read that. I read that as Giles is to me what Buffy is to you.
Giles
is amazing. Sorry, this is how much I love Buffy. I make everything.
We all love Giles. Who doesn't love a librarian?
Okay, I do have a slight. I'm sorry. I know that we're going to read really soon. I promise. I have a slight Glee story where we went to Comic-Con in San Diego. And I really needed a loo in between panels. And this security guard told me and Kev to use these toilets that said, don't use them. And he was like, I don't know why the signs, they're fine, just go in them. And it was because the cast were using them. And so I ended up going to the toilet and like coming out, and like half of the girls from Glee were in there, and in the boys' toilets, half the boys from Glee were in there. Kev did not speak to them, went for a wee and came out again. I was like, how do you even
How
not?
can you not?
Well, I think this is a men in the toilets.
Urinals, you don't really talk.
Yeah, Kev can't really talk at urinals, so he's leaving it to the boys from Glee.
Men don't talk in the urinal like women do in the toilet.
I had a really nice chat. So I met, I can't remember their real names. I met Tina, Santana, and the blonde one, Brittany. Is she called Brittany?
Oh wow!
And then had my picture taken with them outside the toilets.
I was gonna say in the toilets.
Yeah, well, we nearly did, and then we were like, actually, shall we just not?
Shall we just?
I've never seen Glee.
You know what? I think you would.
I was a bit old for it. I think I was probably in my 30s when that came out. So I think it was.
I'm saying you could relate to the teachers. That's exactly what we want to hear, isn't it, Sharon? You both relate to the teachers and the people.
You can go off people, Kev. You know, you can go off them.
I do think I'm probably older than the teacher in Glee now, so that's just not. Oh yeah, on Boy Meets World now. Yeah, I was saying it showed how I've aged. Like it used to be the main character's best friend who's like 12 when I was 9, and then it was when I was 13, and now it's the dad. Like I've gone through the whole. At some point it'll be Mr. Feeney, like neighbour in his 70s, and then I'll know I've like,
oh my god,
it comes full circle. Watch it. If you're over 30 watching, you'll see what I mean. Yes, thank you. I hope
you need to ask for a cut there, Amy, I think.
Yeah, honestly, I do think that with some vampire books, I should get commissioned when not that I would take it from the publisher.
Oh, in Whitby.
I've always wanted to do that. I've never actually managed. I go at least once a year, and I got to do some book stuff there last year, which was really awesome.
Amazing.
Yes, I mean, he seems to be absolutely brilliant. I just haven't watched it yet. Yeah, I know. Honestly, it's so sad. The story of the whole, like, there seems to be there's been a lot of tragedy linked to the Glee cast. Like,
is that the girl who drowned? That one,
yeah,
isn't she?
It's an awful story. Yeah,
very sad.
One of them I won't discuss because it's really not nice. Well, in fact, all of it just gets worse. Google it if you want to, but it's really sad. As a lot of the main cast kind of didn't have very nice endings, should we say? But the TV show, I don't know whether I've fully finished it, but certainly the first few seasons I absolutely loved. Like the way they incorporate the music, it was just really fun.
Oh, amazing.
And uplifting. We're just about to see the second sprint just in time. So we're going to do our next 40-minute sprint, and then we'll have a chat about what we've been reading and probably start talking about Buffy and Last of Us again. Don't go too much of the subject of Last of Us. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. So we'll see you in 40 minutes. Let us know how your reading, writing, and everything else is going. Wow, that last minute really got away with me there. I was like, oh, I can get a bit more done. And then suddenly I looked, I was like, oh God, it's about to go. So yeah, that was good apart from the sights. The little boy wake up in the middle of it. I managed to sort him out. Needed a cuddle and lay down with him moment. But yeah, I'm quite used to those. I'm going to sort that out. And yeah, I think I'm going to hit my target for where I wanted to be tonight, but I really need to get my head down in the next sprint. For the last 8 minutes, I need to super focus. How about you, Sharon? Did you have a good reading session?
Yeah, I did. I had to pop for a bathroom break, which is upstairs, so it took me longer because I'm usually upstairs when I'm recording.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. Yeah, really good. So
you saw in Nightfall.
They've just mentioned the V word, so now we know it's vampires. It's really good. So I'm probably going to carry on reading that.
Nice. It kind of took longer than I expected that actually to get to the vampires, but I didn't mind it because I think fairly early into Lost Boys, like straight away you hear about them, don't you? Like at first it's kind of fictional, and then it's interesting how it kind of gets held back from you for a while in Nightfall. But I liked it because it kept me. The first time I read it, it kind of kept me pushing because I wanted to get to the vampires.
And it's obvious they are, isn't it? Because the glamorous, it's obvious they are. But then probably you think, oh, perhaps they're just weird people.
It's the main characters coming to the realization that we know from page 1, isn't it? I always find that interesting how quickly, if somebody actually could prove to you that vampires were real, would you just be like, oh, cool, okay, I get it? Or would you be like, no, complete denial?
I've been waiting my whole life for this.
No, that's what I think I'd just like cry out of pure happiness. That's probably not the reaction like the sexy vampire.
Probably not.
I want to make you an immortal.
That's a good question, is it? If you could be immortal, would you be?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I could read all the books that I want to read, but also everyone would die around me.
I feel like you need to bring a few people. I had this conversation with the Fictional Hangover podcast, and there was this whole thing that I'd have to wait till Nathan was 18 and then
so he could have consent. Yes.
Consent check that he actually wants, because nobody wants a 3-year-old ankle biter forever.
Oh no.
So we had this whole really serious, like, adult pragmatic discussion of, how your life would change and what you would do and stuff.
I would, but as long as I could live on my own in a big castle with a huge library, I'd be happy.
You've got to do it right. Yeah, definitely. I think it'd be cool to see all the different eras coming along, like all the future.
Yeah, it is. I feel like it's a no-brainer for me. But some people, I always find it really funny in the YA books when the teen girl is like, "Oh no, being a vampire is the worst thing that could happen." I was like, just think about it a little bit more than that. Like, they always dismiss it as an option, and I suppose they have to because plot tension and stuff. But yeah,
teenagers are over dramatic.
Yeah,
can't help themselves.
That's why I like YA though. I think because
you do.
It feels so heightened and like everything is. That's why Buffy's so fun, isn't it? Like everything feels like the end of the world when you're a teenager.
Yes, it does.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But yeah, how about you, Jen? So we're having a good time with the Nightfall. How's TJ Clune going?
I haven't read that much actually. I went and got something to eat, and then by the time I came around, it's like 10 minutes. So I was like, oh, let me read for a little bit. But so far, plodding along well, still enjoying it. But yeah, I'm hoping to read a little bit more in the last sprint.
Nice. Yeah, I need to finish writing quite a short scene that is brand new because the way I edit, like I end up piecing together the first, well, it's sort of the second draft, piecing it together with completely new material. So it's weird when I send it to my agent, some of it I won't have even read. So I'd be like, good luck with that scene. I don't know how other people do it, but that's how I do it. Like some of the ideas like didn't even exist in the first draft, so I'm having to add them in. Sorry, a really creepy fly just crawled across my screen and caught my eye. My laptop's by my feet. I'm going to just move away from that. Let's see how the people in the comments are doing. Then we can maybe jump onto the last sprint since it's getting a bit late. Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi.
So, Charlie joined us just towards the end of that sprint. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm sure that we've probably dismissed you, but thank you for joining us. Retrospective, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're in good company that we wouldn't even need to think about it. Have you seen? I did it on TikTok. There's like a trending sound that went around that like said, if you were made into a vampire and you didn't even at least think about making me into a vampire and we're friends, we're not really friends.
Yeah, like, yeah.
I agree.
I love that.
Yeah. Okay, so it's getting late. Let's change the sprint to 30 minutes for the very last one. And then we can have a nice little wrap up at the end and see how we've got on this evening. It feels like it's been productive so far. Famous last words. I hope nobody wakes up. I could just do half an hour to myself. But,
I need to eat myself. You know. I need to eat myself. No, I don't. I need to eat myself.
Calm myself. The importance of punctuation. I used to do that with year 6 children. In there, they had to do a thing about commas help with ambiguity. And there's this whole like, let's eat grandpa, like let's eat grandpa. And there's like, is it a man eating shark or man eating shark? Like there's all kinds of fun
True.
So, yeah,
commas save a lot of embarrassment, I feel.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It's so true.
So okay, let's see what Charlie says about being immortal. I mean, it does, but is that just what pop culture makes us want to believe that like it can't be too fun, otherwise everyone
would be doing it.
Yeah,
true.
You know, I think that the Lost Girls had the good idea, didn't they? You remember the last book we watched in the YA book club, in the fact that they didn't just bite people and kill them; they kept them as kind of like, you know, blood containers, and they kept them as kind of pets and just fed off them. So I think that's the way to go if you're immortal.
Yeah,
it's less effort.
Yeah, and I like the fact that book as well felt quite realistic. It didn't seem super glamorous. Like they didn't like instantly become mysterious millionaires. Like they were working rubbish jobs because they still looked like teenagers. Like Damon and Stefan, let's be fair, like where does all the money come from for them to have this enormous mansion and not work?
True, very
like, even
true.
if you inherited it, you would still assume you need to pay some bills and like, you know, buy all that expensive whiskey that Damon drinks. So yeah, I have thought about this a fair bit.
Oh wow.
I have to. It's my bread and butter writing about vampires, so I have to make sure that it holds up when I'm doing the stuff. Okay, let's go to a sprint before I start vampire rambling again. We'll see you in half an hour. Oh, that's it. Sprints are done. Feels like it's been a productive evening. How about you, Jen? Did you get much done in that last sprint?
Yeah, I managed to get to the third part of the book.
Nice.
And read, oh, there goes my cat. And read another couple chapters in a bit, which is good.
Nice. I feel like it wouldn't be a sprint if there wasn't some kind of cat cameo. Like, it's going to
So true. So true. I think she's shocked that all of a sudden I start speaking when it was so silent. No.
I think I feel the same, to be honest. Like, he's just watching telly all of a sudden. I'm like, no, quick, turn it off. Brutal. Poor Kev. He puts up a lot. Did you have a good sprint, Sharon? Was it more in Nightfall?
Yeah, I've got about 30 pages left, so I'll carry on reading. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? So, yeah, all my cats are on the floor. So I'll just keep, batting them down.
Oh, bless.
Because I'm only on a chair, so it's a bit different, isn't it? So usually when I read, I'll recline right back. And then they'll just sit on my chest then.
Oh, bless them.
They're still trying to sit on your chest, probably, aren't they? They're thinking, this isn't how we normally do it. Come on, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, what's going on, Mom? Yeah, I know, it's true. Yeah, they're not impressed. But yeah, it's very good. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Oh, good. Well, I managed to finish one of the chapters I wanted to. I wanted to start reading the next one, but realistically that wasn't going to happen. So I started doing a Blackwell's order and I added Ben's book, How to Die Famous. I realised I'd not ordered Kendara Blake's new one yet, which is Champion of Fate. I'm just looking at the list in front of me. And my roommate is a vampire.
I've been wanting to read that one. I keep seeing it everywhere.
There's a Fairy Loot edition, and I looked, and it's like £22 or something plus postage. And I thought, I'm going to go for £7.91 version.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I love the pretty ones, but it's got like
justifying that price, isn't it? Sometimes
it's got pink frayed edges. I can get 3 books, or I can get that one, and I feel like 3 books is better than 1 book.
And I prefer a paperback. I've got to be honest. I love hardback books, and I have a Lumicrate, which I'm probably going to stop having in a bit because I haven't liked any of the books so far. But I prefer a paper. I prefer to hold a paperback. I find hardbacks really hard.
Comfortable. Yeah, definitely. Especially when you drop it on your face.
Yeah. I used to get Fairy Loot, and then I realised it was because literally right from the beginning, and then it went down a really fantasy route, and I think it now is basically a fantasy book box.
It is, yeah.
Illumicrate's the same. It's all fantasy, and I'm just not a fantasy girl.
Yeah,
I'm just not.
They're
beautiful editions, and they look pretty on my shelves, but
if it's not to your taste, it's no point, is it? Yeah.
No, what I'm finding is I'm trying to get them secondhand, like the ones I really want. Like I just ordered Cruel Illusion by Margie Fuston, which is fantasy, but it's vampire fantasy. So I'm like, I'm going to read that. And I love to
Vinted is so good. I'm always on Vinted buying secondhand books, especially from the book boxes, and they're so much cheaper. So
yeah,
look out on Vinted.
I need to check. I've not really explored Vinted. I need to. I feel like it's better at the minute for buyers than sellers, isn't it? Like you can get a bargain, but you don't make much when you sell stuff.
It's true. It's true.
Charlie's still on the blood containers. We're practical. We say it like it is. Happy Meals on the Spike.
Oh, I love that.
Season 2, Spike, quality. I can probably tell you the whole speech he says, but I won't. I'm too tired. Night, Stephen. Thank you for joining along. Hello, we're just wrapping up, so I hope you managed to get a bit of reading done with us, Amal. That sounds interesting.
Tin flute.
Oh, nice. That sounds like you're having a lovely evening, Paula.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm always reading several at the same time.
Yeah, same. Whenever people ask me what I'm currently reading, because it's quite often when you do panel events and stuff, it's always the last question. And I'm like, have you got an hour for me to tell you the 10 things I'm reading on different platforms?
Yeah.
I tend to just fib and say, oh, yes, I'm reading this one book, just because it's easier. Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like I love Margie's writing, and I can probably cope with vampires if she's written it, with fantasy if she's written it, and there's vampires in it. So... Thank you, Amelia. I'm glad I've got the vote of confidence there because I've literally just paid for it. So if you'd said no, it's too fantasy, I'd have been a bit gutted. I think my next job is then to download Vinted and put fairy loot in and see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Some of them
get lots of bits on there.
Some of them are extortionate. Some of the really popular ones, that's one of my real icks. That is, charging. I've got all of my. I'm happy for anybody to buy any of my Illumicrate, but I would only charge what I paid. I would never double it. I just think it annoys me to death.
I know what you mean. I also do kind of think that if I had one, it would like enable me to buy loads more books. Like if somebody's going to pay it, swings and roundabouts. I think that's probably a good time to finish. It's 10:20. So it's approximately my bedtime. So thank you two. It's been lovely to have you on together.
Thank you for having us.
We're going to get Ellie along next time because I know that we all kind of know each other in different ways. So it's nice to have the four of us all together on screen. So I think I'm here next Monday, Kev. Have I got one on Monday?
For the rest of this month.
Yeah, so for the rest of the month, Mondays and Thursdays. Thanks for joining us, Amelia. So
night,
night.
Have a chat and read. And I'll see you at the next event. Night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Bye.